everybody, welcome back. In today's lesson, I'm going to be going over what I deem to be the prettiest ukulele song in the world. I posted this on YouTube a few years back, and I got a lot of comments and questions on it, so I thought I would do a new in-depth tutorial kind of explaining the chords and the strum patterns for the song a little more in depth than I did before. So join me today, and we're going to go through this song. I'm going to play you the whole song, and then we're going to break down each section going through the chords as well as the strum pattern, and then we're going to have a little chance for you guys to play the song along with me so you can work on the song at home yourself. So thanks for stopping by, and let's get into it. So first I'm going to play the entire song for you guys in real time so you can hear and see what I'm doing as far as the chord progression goes and the strumming pattern, and then we're going to break it down into the left hand and the right hand and eventually put that all together so you guys can play this song on your own. Alright, so let's take a look at the chords we're going to use here for this song. So we're going to start off with an A major chord. So the A major is played with our middle finger on the 2nd fret on the G string and our index finger on the C string on the 1st fret. And that sounds like this. Our second chord is A major 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my index finger on the 1st fret on the G string, and my middle finger will also be on the 1st fret on the C string. And if you guys want, play along as we go here to make sure your chords are sounding the same. If they sound a little different, make sure that you're in tune, and also make sure that you're getting all of the strings to ring out equally as you go. Our third chord is the A7 chord, and that's also a major chord. And that's just going to be played here with my middle finger on the C string on the 1st fret. The fourth chord is an A9 chord. So I'm going to keep my middle finger down here on the C string on the 1st fret, and I'm going to add my pinky to the A string on the 2nd fret, and that looks like this. The next chord is a D major chord. You can play this a couple different ways. The way that I prefer to play it, especially for this song, is with my middle finger on the G string, 2nd fret, my ring finger on the C string, 2nd fret, and my pinky finger on the E string. So kind of crunching all my fingers in here. For this chord, you'll notice my hand is kind of tilted a little bit towards the headstock of the instrument here. That gives my fingers better ability to space, or not space, but crunch in here for this D chord. Another way to play the D chord is by compressing all 3 G, C, and E strings down at the same time with the pad of either your middle finger, your ring finger, or your index finger. So try those different options, see what works best for you. I prefer this way for playing it. The next chord is the D minor chord. So very similar to the D major chord, I'm going to keep my middle finger on the C string, or on the G string, 2nd fret, ring finger, C string, 2nd fret, and now I'm going to have my index finger on the 1st fret on the E string, and that sounds like this. I'll also note that it's very important to make sure you're staying on your fingertips. If you notice here, I'm bending my fingers at my last knuckle here. So my fingers are not upright like this. My fingers really are bent almost at a 90-degree angle. And my thumb is behind that chord, squeezing the chord down. So your thumb position should typically be intersecting the middle of the chord where you're playing. The final chord that I'm going to show you is the F chord, and that is played with your middle finger on the G string 2nd fret and your index finger on the 1st fret on the E string, and that sounds like this. So those are the chords we're going to use for the prettiest ukulele song in the world. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the strumming pattern that we're using here for this song. There's a couple different strumming patterns that I'm going to use, so I'm going to break each one of them down individually. The first pattern that I use, and I'm going to be playing this with an A major chord, so if you want to follow along. This pattern is down, down, up, up, down, up. So with my index finger, sweet spot that I like to use for strumming is from the back of the sound hole here to about where the neck meets the body of the instrument. So you'll see me strumming kind of in this general region. So the pattern is down, down, up, up, down, up. So let's just do that together really slowly here. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Now I'm not really getting very big with my strum here. I'm keeping it within the confines of the body of the instrument. So that's important, especially as you get into more intricate strumming patterns, for having your timing stay on board, keeping very concise with your strum. So that's the one pattern that we're going to use. The next pattern that we use is kind of a staccato bouncing down strum. So you'll hear this part when I'm playing the D chord in the song, and that pattern simply goes like this. So what I do is I kind of cup my fingers into a little bit of a C shape, and as I do that, I play the chord and I release my left hand so that I'm still touching the strings, but I'm not compressing the strings down. So you'll hear the note, or you'll hear the chord stop after I play it. So that when you do that multiple times in a row, will kind of give you this bouncing effect. So I play the 3 strings for the D chord. If you strum all the way through, you got to make sure that you get all of the strings muted with your left hand. So let's do that together slowly here. So I use that in the B section of the song, and then let's talk about the little quadruplet strum pattern that I use towards the second half of the B section. So this part here that I'm using, I use on the A chord in the B section, so the last chord of the B section. So that strumming pattern, I'm going to go down with my index finger, down with my thumb, up with my thumb, down with my index finger. So let me play that a little closer to the tempo of the song. Now, on the very last time I play the A chord of the B section, I add one extra up strum as we go back into the A section. So it's down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. Okay, so at the end of the A section, you'll notice there's a little variance in my strumming pattern from the down, down, up, down, up. So I just wanted to go a little more in depth of exactly what I'm doing at that part for you. So after we do so that's the variance there right at the end. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to be holding the A9 chord for this part. So refer back to the chord section or the PDF chart for this. And you're going to be doing an up strum, and it's a staccato up strum. So what I'm doing with my right hand is I'm just doing an up strum, but to give it that kind of staccato effect, I'm muting with my left hand. So to do that, I basically take my fingers and I decompress them from the strings, but I keep my fingers touching the strings as I do it. So the first three strums are on A9, and then I pull my pinky off with my left hand and I do an up strum with the A7. So let's do that together slowly here. So it's up, 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 A9, A7. So that is the little nuance in the strumming technique that occurs at the end of the A section. Let's go ahead now and do a play along for the prettiest ukulele song in the world. So I'm going to do this repetition at about 50 to 60% of the actual song tempo for you. So grab your uke, make sure it's tuned up, get in good playing position, and let's try to play this song together at about 50 to 60% of the actual song tempo here. So I'll give us a 1, 2, 3, 4 count and then join in with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that is about closer to 75% of what the actual song tempo is. Now let's do a play along closer to the full tempo of the song. And I will also include a tempo marking on the PDF worksheets that I have attached to this video. So you can check out all of the chords, charts, and strumming patterns in a physical copy that you can download from my website. So let's go through this now at full speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below for more killer ukulele lessons. Also, make sure you stop by allforuke.com where I have PDFs, tablature, and information on all of these videos with in-depth explanations of each of them. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.